Shus Kloid, Moran Rosh Yeshiva Shlita, Void Kiddush Zadme Shlita, Oshev B'nei Torah, Kahal Kodesh. I have been in this base medrash before, more than once. Actually, I've been in this medrash this week, but it wasn't the same this medrash. If we would have open eyes, we would see and hear Koisle Beis HaMedrash rejoicing. This is a Yom Tov for this entire city, for Los Angeles. This is a Yom Tov for us all, and it is a tremendous zchus. But the Gedolei Yisrael of Eretz Yisrael, the Rosh Yeshiva and the Rebbe Shlita have come together to give us chizuk. This is such a special day, a day to be appreciated, to be remembered, and to be cherished. Do you know what a Gadol B'Yisrael means for Klal Yisrael? Einei hu eido, as Chazal describe Gedolei Yisrael. Yemei Asfira are days of mourning. As the Gemara tells us in Yevamos Daf Samach Beis, Chov Daled Elef Talmidim Hoyaloi Rabbi Akiva V'Kula Meisu Bein Pesach La'atzeres Shelo Yinahagu Kavod Zeh B'Zeh. However, Lag BaOmer is an exception. And Lag BaOmer, as we learn in Siman Tov Tzad Gimel Siv Beis, is a day of simcha. We make chasanis, we play music. Lag BaOmer is an exception. Why? So many Rishonim and Achronim say, Lag BaOmer Poscha Hamagei was over. And the Ramami Pano, that great Mekubal, the great Gaon, the Ramami Pano and Sefer Ma'ayan Ganim Perigimel, asks a terrible and very disturbing question. They all perished. No one was left. So what is the Simcha Shepascha Hamagei for? If a man, lo yoleinu, v'lo yolechem, we shall not know. Parents have 10 children, and they die one after the other. Chas v'sholom, when its 10th child perish, will it be happy? It's over. No one is left. Now the Ramam Pano says, Rabbi Akiva was left. And that was the tremendous simcha. If the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva lo yinahagu kavod zeh b'zeh, there is a certain taina not only to the Talmidim, but to their great Rebbe. And those 24,000 Talmidim perished as koifer nefesh, and Rabbi Akiva was spared. And that was the simcha of Klal Yisrael. Could you just imagine such a tragedy? 24,000 Talmidim Gedolim perish in a short period. But when it was over, and Rabbi Akiva was spared, that was the simcha of Kol Beis Yisrael. The Gadol Ador was spared, and he once again will be able to teach in our Vekshtel Torah B'Klal Yisrael with Rabbi Seinu Shivedot. That is what a Gadol B'Yisrael means for Klal Yisrael. So how great is our zchus this day, having with us these two great Gedolei Torah and Gedolei Yira from Eretz Yisrael, the Rav Rosh Yeshiva, and the Rebbe Sheyichu Leyamim Tovim Aruchim Ad Bias Adloyim. The Rosh Yeshiva, in his short words, and the Rebbe added on, what a beautiful spectacle that we are able to hear together Divrei Torah and Divrei Yira from the Rosh Yeshiva and the Rebbe. The Rosh Yeshiva spoke about a very basic question. By Kriyas Yamsef, Chazal say, Ro'asu shivchu alayam mashal aroi Yecheskel v'kol ha'neviim. That's a mechilta. Mashal aroi Yecheskel v'kol ha'neviim. So why you weren't there ready for Kabbalas HaTorah Teichef u'miyad? What was the need to wait an additional 40 days, 42 days from Kriyas Yamsuf, 49 days from Yetzias Mitzrayim? Obviously, they were at a tremendous madrega just standing by Kriyas Yamsuf. The Yeshiva explained, no. Madregas must be achieved with toil, with avodah, with amal. If not, they are only madregas for a fleeting moment. They are not here to stay. Memtes Shari Tumah, that the Riyah Kodesh says, that Klal Yisrael fell. Klal Yisrael sank to Memtes Shari Tumah b'Yeretz Yisrael. Those Memtes Shari Tumah are midos ra'os. Each shar in Tumah is a mido ra. And those 49 midos ra'os, 49 shar in Tumah, could only be overcome by avodah, yegiah, amal, with toil, tears, and sweat. That is the only way you could overcome memtes shari Tumah, which are memtes midos ra'os. And this is to be done every year. As we know from the Ramchal, and the same is in Kedushas Levi, and Chag HaShavuot, Klal Yisrael has no memorials. Our Yom Tovim, our Chagim v'Moyadim are not days of remembrance. It is not days in which we have nostalgic memories. These are days of Chidush HaMa'oros, of Yeridas HaShefa, and in every year of Chag HaShavuot, there is a certain bechina of Kabbalah Torah. Every year, a new Kabbalah Torah. Every Shavuot, one could be Zoyk, once again, to the Iris, to the Shefa of Kabbalah Torah. But we can only achieve these Iris, this Shefa, and these Madregas through Avodah B'chol Shana V'Shana. Rabbeinu Bechaya maintains that the Ikar Nesayin and the Ikar Avodah in preparation for Kabbalah Torah and by Kriyas Yamsuf was an Avodas HaBetachon, not as we generally understand, that Kriyas Yamsuf was an experience of one moment and the entire Yam was split. The Yam was split by every additional step. And when Klal Yisrael went into the Yam, what they saw before their eyes was a raging sea all along the way. And only every additional step brought forth an additional Kriyas Yams. That was the big Nesayin, and that was the way that Klal Yisrael was mis'ala. The Chofetz Chaim makes a cheshbon that there were 5 million Yidden by Kriyas Yamsuf. Shishim Riboy is only a fraction of the Yidden that were at Kriyas Yamsuf, and that was a tremendous nesoy in having 5 million Yidden standing. Ki yishechod ubelev echod, vayichen sham Yisrael neged ahar. Ki yishechod ubelev echod, ba'ach. And as the Yeshiva pointed out, in every town, probably Los Angeles is not an exception, there are various kehillas, various yeshivas, each with its own style and signin. It is an assign for every town to stand b'yishechot b'levechot. The Kriyas Yam said there were 5 million Yid, and that was the madrega of a Yidin Sham Yisrael neged hahar. And the Yikar Avodah of Yemei Asrira is the Avodah in Midas, Ben Adam lechaveroi. The Goen says, Yaroif kamoto lekhi Torah. And learning Torah is like rain. Rain brings forth fruit, but rain can also bring forth thorns. It depends on what the rain falls. If it rains on a thorn bush, obviously that rain will produce more thorns. If it rains in a beautiful garden, that rain will bring beautiful flowers and beautiful fruit. It is what you've got in Torah Samidus. That is what your Torah is, mashpi. Yaroi kemoto lik. And if we will work on our midas, it is then that our Torah will be Torah of Kiddushin, Torah that will produce the most beautiful things Klal Yisrael has to show. That is the Rosh Hashiva's message. And the Rosh Hashiva ended his remarks with saying, our Avos Yotzei Mitzrayim, they truly had a difficult job because they didn't have any Torah. To be metaken 49 midas laws, to escape from Memtes Sharitumah without Torah, that is an almost impossible mission. But Baruch Hashem, we have Torah. And with Torah, it is something we can achieve. That is the Rosh Hashiva's message. And Kvod Kiddish's Adon Shlita added on. In the same theme, Yisrael, before Matan Torah, gave an answer to Moshe Rabbeinu to have Sorei Alofen, Sorei Meois, Sorei Asorois. When we try to imagine in our time, probably the Sorei Meois were terribly hurt. Why aren't we the Sorei Alof? And then the Sorei Asorois. Was there any greater humiliation than that? Why aren't we top ministers? But in the Madrega of Klal Yisrael, in that generation, when they achieved the Madrega of Vayichen Sham Yisrael Neged Ahar, Ki Yishechod U'Belev Echod, they all understood that our life is a mission. And everybody has his tafkid to accomplish. And Moshe Rabbeinu determined for each and every one what's his tachlis and his tafkid. And they all were mekabel be'ahavo. And that is when Klal Yisrael was fitting to approach Har Sinai, fitting for Mamed Har Sinai and for Kabbalah Satay. So Choshev B'Talmidei Chachamim, B'nei Torah. Just look at this table and be inspired. The Rosh Hashiva and the Rebbe both spoke about Achdus. This is the most beautiful display of Achdus. When these two Gedolim came such a long way. 20-hour flight with one purpose. Not for covet, not for money. One purpose. Just to give us chizuk. And just help us prepare ourselves for Kabbalah Satay. We should all be there. To make the most of this visit. To cherish every moment. We should all be zeicher to be fitting for Kabbalah Satay. And we should all be zoich, as the Zohar HaKodesh says. Shavuot will be a day of Geula, v'hahu yoim meyachtin Yisrael megalusa.